The Philippine Constitution. A constitution is a collection of fundamental ideas or precedents that serves as the legal foundation for a polity, organization, or other form of institution, and in many cases, decide how that entity is to be governed. So, what is a constitution? So here, a constitution is defined as a state and the rights of its every citizen. In a democratic order, the Constitution ensures that the people ultimately control the government. So, what is a constitution in a government? Constitutional government is defined by the existence of a constitution, which may be a legal instrument or merely a set of fixed norms or principles generally accepted as the fundamental law of the polity that effectively controls the exercise of political power. So here, it specifies the government will be constituted, how will the power to take the decision. So a country's constitution establishes the framework for government, which is critical for ensuring that everyone's interests and demands are met. So it's also establishes how laws are formed and explains how the government operates. So I am Seth Lucena and I'm going to tackle or report the Philippine Constitution. So there's a quote that says that we, the people, are the rightful masters of both Congress and the court, not to overthrow the Constitution, but to overthrow the men who pervert the Constitution.
As you can see, there's a table of contents, which is Constitution, parts of Constitution, constitutional law, and preamble. So let's tackle about this. The Constitution that we have in Philippines has had a total of 6 constitutions since the proclamation of independence on June 12, 1898. In 1899, the Malala's Constitution, the first Philippine Constitution, the first Republican Constitution in Asia, was drafted and adopted by the First Philippine Republic, which lasted from 1899 to 1901. Now let's go to the nature and purposes. 1. It serves as the supreme or fundamental law. So the charter is what establishes the government. 2. It is the law to which all the other laws must conform. It is the test of the legality of all governmental actions. And 4. Lastly, the government's primary responsibility is to serve and protect the people. So that's the purpose and also the nature of Constitution. So the government may call on the people to defend the state, and in order to do so, all citizens may be required, under the terms of the law, to render personal, military, or civil service. The second one is establishes the basic framework and underlying the principles of government, prescribes the permanent framework of the system of government, and assigns to the different departments or branches the respective powers and duties. So the Republic of the Philippines is a democratic and republican state. The people and sovereign and all the government authority flows from them. Second, the state upholds the dignity of every human being and ensures that human rights are fully respected. And lastly, the nature and purposes of the Constitution is the civilian authority always takes precedence over military authority. Also, when we say constitutional law, it is the body of rules, doctrines, and practices that govern the operation of political communities is known as constitutional law. As the number of states has increased, so has the number of constitution and the body of constitutional law, though such law may sometimes originate from sources outside the state. So in general, constitutional law serves as the foundation for all law in a given jurisdiction. It also establishes governmental authority and power, as well as rights and limitations. So the United States Constitution establishes a system of government and serves as the primary source of law. So let's go to parts of Constitution. We have three parts, which is Constitution of Government, which means the Philippines is a republic with a presidential form of government in which power is divided equally among three branches, which is executive, legislative, and judicial. Through this system of checks and balances, the government seeks to act in the best interest of its citizen. And also, when we say Constitution of Liberty, introduction, no one shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, and no one shall be denied equal protection under the law. Also, when we say Constitution of Sovereignty, the sovereignty of the Philippines refers to the status of the Philippines as an independent nation. The people are sovereign, and all government authority flows from them. Types of constitution, we have written, unwritten, conventional or enacted, cumulative or evolved, rigid or inelastic, flexible or elastic. Now, as you can see, we have parts of the constitution. We have national territory, declaration of principles and states policies. We have Bill of Rights, citizenship, suffrage, legislative department, executive department, and so on and so forth. So, let's go to preamble, which is the last episode of this report. So when we say preamble, from Latin preambulare, which means to walk before, it is also an introduction to the main subject. It is the prologue of the Constitution, introductory statement, introductory part of an constitution or statute that usually states the reason for an intent of the law. Purpose of and value, set down the origin and purpose of the Constitution, may serve as an aid in its interpretation. As you can see, this is my last report, and I am very happy that I report this kind of topic. Thank you very much for listening and watching. God bless.